Today we're going to be making this little ATC box. It's got an elastic closure, decorated with graphic 45 papers and plenty of room for you to keep and store some ATCs. I shall give you all the measurements. It's a nice, quick and easy one to do today. So I'll move this out of the way and come back and we'll get on with making this. So to begin with, we need to make our pockets that are inside our little folder. And for this, I'm going to make 8 pockets because I can get 8 out of 2 12 by 12 sheets. And you need to cut your piece of paper to 6 inch by 4 3/4 inches. So if you've got your piece of 12 by 12, you can cut it in half down the middle at the 6 inch mark and then cut it at 4 3/4 inches long, so that you've got a piece like this. And we're going to score it so that we can fold it up and make our little envelopes, the little pockets for inside. So first of all, I'm just going to score 1 inch up from the bottom, and this will be where we seal the base of our little pocket. And then turning it back so that it's landscape again, I'm going to score at 1 3/4 inches and at 4 1/2 inches, and this will give us enough to fold over and just seal down the back. So scoring at 1 3/4 inches and at 4 1/2 inches. And what we need to do next is just remove these 2 corner bits here. We don't need these. So just cutting along the score lines. Just removing those sections, and then we can just fold our little pocket closed. And if you want to, just to neaten it up, you can take a corner rounder and just round the corners on that bottom flap, and just then when we fold it up, it just looks a little bit neater. So just want to pop a bit of glue or double-sided tape. This is some Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue in a fine tipped bottle. Just run a little bead of glue down one side there and a little bit on that flap at the bottom. And so you can always use double-sided tape if you want to, but this dries really quickly. I like this glue, it's nice and strong. So as I say, you can make 8 of these from 2 12 by 12 sheets. And I've already made some more here. I've got 4 from this one piece of paper and 4 from another. The papers I'm using today, it's the Graphic 45 Couture Collection. It's a fairly old collection, but I've still got a few sheets in my stash, so I thought I'd use them today. Next, we want to cut just a little notch out to make it easier to get our ATCs or cards out of these. And you can either use a circle die or a circle punch, and just line it up so that it's just cutting a section out of the top. Once you've punched the notches out of all of our little envelopes, we want to stick them together. And to do this, we're going to put a bit of tape just down where that seam is on the back side. We're not going to stick them all the way across. We just want some adhesive down the middle. So it helps if you want to just line them all up so that they're all the right way up, so you know that you're going to get the adhesive on the right side. And again, you could use glue. I'm going to use tape for this, just because it's quite easy, and I'm just going to put a double strip of tape. If I'd got some wider tape, 1 strip might do, but this is about 1 centimetre, so I'm just going to put 2 strips down the middle, and I'm going to do this on every one. So now we can peel the backing off this and stick them together. I decided to alternate mine, so I'm going to have a black one and then a white one. So just lining them up so they're level and pressing that together. And then again, take the backing paper off the tape and stick the next one on. And just continue until I've stuck them all together. Don't need to take the tape off the very last one just yet. So that's our little expanding wallet assembled. As you can see, by just taping down the centre, it gives a little bit more flexibility for these pockets to open up. I've left the tape backing on this bottom one here because that's the one that's going to be attached inside the case, but for now we can just set that aside. Our cover is made out of mount board. You can use mount board or grey board, some sort of cereal box card. You want something fairly sturdy. And for this, I've cut two pieces that are 4 inches by 3 inches. That's going to be the front and the back. And I've got 3 pieces that are 1.5 inches by 3 inches. And that's going to be the top and the bottom and a little flap so that we can attach a closure. And I'm going to decorate it with some paper inside and out. Again, some more paper I've cut from the Couture Collection. And to begin with, we're going to line up our pieces of card onto what's going to be the inside of our box, because the inside is going to be one continuous strip and that's going to hold it all together. So I've got 2 strips here. This one's 3 inches by 8 inches. This one's 3 inches by 5 inches. And I'm going to arrange my pieces of mount board on here so that we've got the flap and then the top and then the back. And on this one I'm going to put the front, and we're going to join these two together, and that's where the bottom's going to be. But it's easier just to get these in place first. So that's the pattern that I want on my inside. So I'm going to be gluing on this side. I'm going to take, this is my 1.5 inch by 3 inch piece. And glue that directly to the top. Just line it up nice and straight. I'm going to take another 1.5 by 3 inch piece. And again, butt that up nice and tight against there. And this will allow us to be able to open our box, to be able to fold it, and we can cover these other pieces afterwards. This is my 3 inch by 4 inch piece, which is going to be the back. And then just going to my 5 by 3 inch piece of paper here. Attaching my other piece, this is the front, this is the 4 by 3 inch piece that will be the front. Lining that up on there. And we just need a bit of glue on here for an overlap. Unfortunately, you have to make a join. We can't get this out of a 12 inch piece, but by just wedging that in there, we can see exactly where that joint needs to be. And then we can just pop some glue on what will be the bottom and slot that in there. And that way, any join, if it is visible, I mean, it's worked out quite nicely on this pattern, but it would be at the base anyway, so you wouldn't really see it. So you just want to let that glue dry if you've used glue. If you've used tape, you should be able to carry on. But we're just going to ease that paper where the joins are. And you'll be able to see then how our little box is going to be formed. So now we can decorate the outside, and again I've just cut some more from that same pattern, and this is the same size that we've cut the mount board. So there's 2 pieces that are 4 inches by 3 inches and 3 pieces that are 1.5 inches by 3 inches. I'm just going to glue these onto the other side. You can ink them if you want round the edge, distress them, it's entirely up to you. I'm not entirely sure if all of my pattern will match up, but if it does, all well and good. So again, just letting that glue dry, and then we can attach the inside pockets and get ready to make a little closure. So I decided to add a little bit of black distress ink just around the edges, just to finish this off a little bit. Only on the outside, not bothering on the inside. And I'm just going to add a little bit more tape to this back pocket that we've got, because I want the whole of this pocket to be stuck down to the inside of this little folder. So again, if you're using glue, just add a little bit of glue all over the back. If you're using tape, just as I've done, add a little bit more. And just remove the backing paper. And you want to pop it inside the back. So just make sure you know which is the back. It's the bit that's got the flap attached to the top of it. And just line it up so that it's central inside that panel, and press it down. And then it's attached in nicely like that. Just give it a good press down. There's plenty of room in here, because obviously if we fill these up, it's going to expand inside. For my closure, I'm going to pop some elastic, an elastic through. So I've got, this is just some red elastic. This is from Tiger here in the UK. And I'm going to punch 2 little holes in the top so that I can sort of thread through a loop that I can wrap round. So for that, I've got my crocodile tool, and I'm just going to use the small hole function just to pop 2 holes in the middle. And I can just pop a couple of small metal eyelets in there just to tidy it up, just to finish it off. Gives a little bit more strength. So just taking a length of elastic, and we can decide how tight we need this to be. So So I think that's about right. And we can tie a knot in the back there and trim the ends. If you want to add some extra little detail on, these are just a couple of the images that I've cut from that Couture Collection paper. There was just some sort of little feature elements. So there's no reason why you can't add one of those to the front and the back. You could always pop one on the inside as well if you wanted to. You could personalise this if you're giving it as a gift. And then, as you say, we can pop our ATCs in here. Maybe we're going to a meeting, we want to take some for trade. Maybe you want to just make some and give them to somebody. But we can just close it all up with our elastic, and it protects them and keeps them nice and safe inside. And there's plenty of room to fill that up, even if they were quite bulky. Hope you enjoyed this project. Hope you found it easy to follow. If you did, as always, leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll be back again next week with another project for you. But for now, that's all. Bye.